Hi guys, so this is part one of my divorce story. I've been trying to think of the best way to explain it, so I will do my best. So bear with me. There may be several parts to this video, so this is part one. So basically, I have been married to my ex-husband for almost 4 years. We tried to conceive TTCing for, I guess, a year and a half or something, and that's really how I got connected to YouTube, and that's how I found all of you guys, because I started doing, I'm so sorry, I'm sick, so I have drainage in my throat, and it's really hard to talk, so anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how I got connected to YouTube and everything. So basically, we had a good marriage. I'm not going to complain about it. Unfortunately, a lot of it was due to hurts, immaturity on both of our sides. I made the biggest mistake by going to my parents about everything with my husband, and it honestly was not good, because my mom especially, she's very protective of me, and if any of you are close to your parents, you would understand this. So I made the mistake by going to, I'm so sorry, my hair is like, I'm at work today, and so I'm just chilling out. But anyway, I've been kind of sick, but I would go to my mom whenever my husband would upset me, and I would talk bad about him to my mom and just kind of vent. And that really backfired for me, because she started to have a bad opinion about Will, and she kind of made me start to not trust him very much, and I started to believe her when she would say things about him. Like, she loved him and everything, but she never really liked him. So even when we were dating and all that, she never really liked him. She just tolerated him. So she would say these negative things about my husband, and it made me believe it. So I started to have this negative thinking towards my husband. And we also made the mistake by talking about divorce a lot in our marriage. We talked about what it would be like to be single. We talked about separating, just in a joking way, but really, a healthy marriage, you should never ever mention divorce, in my opinion. That's not an option. That's something that you should never say. So anyway, so basically, long story short, I made some mistakes that I'm very, very, very upset about that I did. Now, before you guys judge or anything, just know it was because where should I go? Will, my ex-husband, he really checked out emotionally on me. Like, he just really checked out. And just wasn't there anymore. And a lot of it probably was because I wasn't giving him the respect that he needed, and I wasn't encouraging for him. And so he really checked out emotionally. Whenever we were together, we just really weren't there. We never really talked anymore. We didn't ever go on dates anymore. Or if we did, we would just sit there and stare at each other like we had nothing going on between us. So I started to feel really lonely. I didn't really have, this was when he and I were living in Texas at the time, but I didn't really have any friends around me, and I just fell into the trap of wondering what it would be like to be single, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I made a lot of big mistakes that I regret. And he made the same mistakes too. And I found out that he had been doing some stuff at work, and he started hanging around with the wrong people at work, and it's just, yeah, it wasn't good. So anyway, moving on from that. So basically, I don't remember what I updated y'all on with my other videos, but we moved back to Missouri, and we did that so that we could be around friends and his family, which was a really good move, and I'm glad that we made that move, but it pretty much killed our marriage. We moved there, and it's just like all hell broke loose the moment we moved back. I don't know what happened, but just something And, I was dumb. I kept walking in these stupid decisions that I made, which I don't really feel comfortable sharing at this point. But let's just say they were really bad decisions. He continued to hang around, bad influences at work. So in the summer of 2013, I moved out and I lived with a friend of mine, and we were separated. But we would still, hang out with each other. We would still go on dates, and it was just the most horrible, ripping and tearing moment of my life, because it's so hard to be married to someone and not live with them, because you want to be married, but yet when you're separated, it's like you're not married. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, we tried really hard to make it work. We went out a lot. We, I don't know. We did that kind of stuff. So, and then in the last fall, I moved back with him. And things were going really well for a while. We had Christmas, we had Thanksgiving, things were going pretty well. We ended up moving into my ex-sister-in-law's house to save money because we just couldn't afford the rent anymore with our house. So we moved in with her. And that was a little stressful because at that point, she had a 3-year-old and she was pregnant, and we were already having our marriage issues. So it was a lot to take on. But we moved in with her, and so anyway, I will go to part 2 of my divorce story.